What about all those rich kids? I mean, they'll have to be subjected to a draft, just like the pre-med schools children. And what about the fresh off of the med school assembly line, the little doctors in training, in their little potty training, scrubs? They may have to be drafted. We don't want to deal with that. We're just the ones who've already sacrificed. Let us make them sacrifice even more. I mean, come on. You've got generals who are going to tell you, hey, can you somehow put some type of draft in place so you can relieve some of these soldiers who've been on nonstop tours left and right, year after year, missing out on a lot of fun, family, a lot of freedom? I mean, aren't they supposed to be fighting for freedom? What kind of freedom are you fighting for? I mean, it's not like back in the medieval days when nobility. I mean, if you went to war, damn, you were pretty much set. You've got the creme de la creme, cream of the crop. But nowadays, no, it's a pat on the back. Good for your service. Go and cry. Go get your free meal. That's it. That's a joke. I mean, for Veterans Day, the 10th anniversary of my discharge, and being patient for these 10 years, nothing. Really? I mean, who's out there bending over backwards for me? You have to pretty much guilt somebody into showing you guilt. But yeah, it's pretty much bittersweet. I'm happy on one hand. I praise those who sacrificed, but at the same time, I'm mad that they have. Just like I'm mad that I have, because all you are doing is enabling the behavior of the rich, keeping them off the hook. I mean, George W., he was rich, come from a dynasty, and he avoided a draft. How many kids who are rich are going to fight for the rich man's war? None of them. They're the ones that are pulling the strings, right? They're the ones saying, go get the poor. Go send them to war. And the poor is eating it right up. Right. Why? They gobble that up so quickly because why? It's sure as hell better than what they got at the moment. Hey, you told me I can get this. I don't have this. Let me go ahead and try to get more of a stepping stone, successful opportunity, window after a window. Why? The rich already have it. Why can't you automatically have that too? Why can't you automatically have the rich? Why can't you have the chances, the greater chances of being successful like they do? The odds are stacked in their favor. The odds are stacked in your non-favor. You have to constantly work uphill. And all they have to do is just stay on top. Keep pushing you down. They have to keep knocking you down. The justice one that I had on my finger, I mean, isn't that what the justice is? A balance. Well, the poor is all the way down at the bottom and the rich is at the top. And the rich who haven't got to the top yet, they got to step on top of the poor to get up to the rich area. The rich are up here, but also underneath the rich is all the poor holding them up. So the poor are on one side holding up the rich up here, and then you got the poor beneath them as well, on the shoulders. And that's what your doggy daycare is going to be. You got to have an overwhelming load on your chest and your back. You can't get enough spunk on your on your front and your back. You got to make more room. You got to be a pushover and a doormat for the rich. Are the veterans? Is that any different? The veterans are going to have to obey every command. It was even worse in the military than it was outside of the military. I mean, is a dog any different? You tell them to obey, sit, roll over, play dead, do all these things. Is it any different for a Marine? Is it any different for a soldier? Oh, it's respectable behavior. I mean, if a dog behaves the way you want him to do, you reward him with positive reinforcement or punishment. And what do we do in real life with a human being? We give him positive reinforcement as far as for-profit goes. J.P. Morgan Chase, hey, good job. Hey, you did a great job. You performed on a stellar level. But if you don't, get your ass in this cage. Get your ass in this cage. I mean, there's a lot of parallels between military life and prison. I've been on ship, I've been in deserts, I've been in woodlands, sweltering my sugar and mosquito-filled body daily, and all you have to do is stare out and look. What kind of life could you have been living if you didn't do this? I mean, and is it really worth it? 10 years later, I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't see it. I don't see why it was necessary. According to my 10 commanded apps. And this is let's say maybe with better lighting right now than before. It's lost with the rain clouds that always persist outside. Maybe you can get that, I don't know. But this is number 2 and 3, the continuation of number 2 and 3, the work release Dead and Doggy dayCAREer, which I should put work release beating a dead horse Doggy dayCAREer. Dead and Doggy dayCAREer. You know, you're doing the same thing every day expecting a different outcome. Isn't that the definition of insanity? I mean, but that's great. You're proving yourself responsible by waking up every day and doing the same thing. That's very commendable. Don't condemn those who do that. Condemn those who don't do that. Those who don't do it, trying to find a way to escape prison, escape our asylum, what we call our house, our neighborhood. Why is it whenever you go back and forth every day to work, when you come home, you don't leave very far away from home, do you? You know, it's just like a cage. You don't go outside your confinement. If you want to go to Georgia next day and you're in Florida, you can't, because you don't have the time, you don't have the money, and the employer is not paying you to do that. The employer is paying you to stay here. They're not paying you to go travel over here, travel there, or whatever. And those who do travel, oh yeah, they're paying you to stay away from home. They're paying you to make sure that you are the epitome of what it is to be a traveler, to be a go-getter. You have to play the part. You have to put on the smoke and mirrors. You got to put on the performance and let others know, just like Hollywood, hey, it's possible for me to be a traveler. Oh, and if you like to travel, military's for you. But those who say, you know what, there's something wrong with this system. We got to break out of this prison. Those are the ones who are condemned. Those are the ones behind jail cells. Those are the ones that are socially pariahed. Those are the ones who are like me. They're ridiculed. And they sense you. Okay, you're not putting on a uniform like us and getting out there and behaving like us. We condemn you. We are going to exile you. We're going to expose you, and we're going to go tattletale on our for-profiteer, J.P. Morgan Chase employer, predator, parasite. Happy Veterans Day, by the way. Oh, you were a veteran? We don't really care. There's got to be something wrong with you. You're not conducting yourself the way we understand that's socially acceptable, condemn them, or commendable behavior. Then we're going to send you to an asylum. We're going to send you to jail. We're going to make sure you're rehabilitated. Happy Veterans Day. But I mean, there were horses and dogs that used to go in military combat zones, and did we ever actually give them any medals? Did we? I mean, police dogs, we treat them as if they're another police, and if you hurt them, well, you're going to be condemned. It's just an animal, but we treat our dogs better than we treat human beings. I mean, we spend more money on taking care of those dogs than actual Homo sapien people. Why? Aren't we supposed to be on top of the food chain? We're treating these guys like they're up here with us? Oh, well, yeah, every living being deserves to be treated with respect and love. And we don't do that, do we? We treat them how they're worth. If you are a rich man, we're going to bow down on our knees and grovel and hope that maybe you can throw us a bone. Doggy daycare, right? Get your ass to that college and learn how to pass that interrogation standardized test. Make those scores, make the grade, because it'll be another stepping stone to where you need to get, and then you'll prove to J.P. Morgan Chase that, hey, you guys used to be paying all these people to perform all this work. You can do the same to me. I'm just as good. I'll prove to you. I was a female before, but this breast binding pantsuit that I have on right now, it just shows I can look just like the guys that used to work for you all the time. I want the same pay. I don't want to go to war like them. I want the same money like them. I'm not fighting for female rights to go die in a battle zone. No, I'm fighting for female rights for the same money so I can go out there and blow it worse than a male can. I got to continue to pay for this paradise that I call my home. But happy Veterans Day. I mean, veterans, what happens to them afterwards? You know, if they're paraplegic, oh, we'll send you some benefits. We're going to make you have to jump through hoops. Oh, no pun intended. But we're going to make your life difficult, like those who are under Social Security and Medicare, and those who are on food stamps, and those who receive benefits. Those guys need to sacrifice even more. Not the rich. The rich don't need to continuously pay their fair share of taxes. they need to continue to avoid it, dodge, and you know, you see the pattern. They're always going to have to stay away from paying for what the poor has to pay for nonstop. The poor are the biggest contributors to charity. The rich are the biggest contributor as long as they get a return on their investment. But it's not the same, right? The poor's not getting a return on investment. Oh. And like going to Golden Crown. Today's Veterans Day, I'll be there tonight, but of course they're going to solicit other veterans. Hey, can you give to our fund? But I have to say, well, a veteran giving another veteran more donations, that just seems asinine. It just seems a contradiction. Shouldn't those who didn't serve be donating to the... I mean, it wasn't being a veteran, donating your life, sacrificing, putting yourself on possibility of being killed, you know, sacrificing your life, being a bullet sponge. That's still not enough. You need to continue to give more. It's a gift that keeps on giving, keeps on taking, a gift that keeps on taking. I mean, isn't that what your body is? You got to keep giving as long as it's continuously operable. Okay. This is relating to doggy obedience and disobedience behavior, military. It's all coincided at the same time. Happy Veterans Day to all of you before this video feed cuts off. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all of you rich people out there who didn't give up your service, or sacrifice for us. Thank you for continuously not giving up. But more importantly, thank you for giving me the opportunity to work for you for peanuts. Making sure I can work for as little bit of petite pay as possible, but I appreciate it. You're the one that gives us jobs. You give the jobs. The trickle-down effect, you give it to us.